Luca Joe here. Welcome everybody to this second video of the playthrough of We Must Tell the Emperor. I did a couple of changes here. Yesterday we played the early war deck. And we have Francisco Javier Ruiz Gomez. Welcome, Francisco. We played the first deck, and that is the early war deck, a deck where things go really well for the Japanese in terms of resources, military conquest. And now we go into the mid-war deck, which has good and bad events, and things are going to get tougher. And if we survive this deck, we go to the third deck, which is the late war deck. So let's see how that's going to turn out here. So let's go Japan. Let's see how this comes out, and if we have good news for the Emperor. For those of you who didn't see yesterday's transmission, here, this is a game published in 2010 by Victory Point Games in a polybag, designed by Steve Carey. This is Steve Carey's first design. States of Siege game, where we take control of the Japanese and we try to survive World War II, come out better than historically, which is really a tough proposition. So let's jump into the action. And here we have where things left off, and we have Excelsior also. Hello, Excelsior. So this is where things left off yesterday. We have the mid-war deck already assembled. In terms of resources, I watched the recording yesterday. I screwed up in a couple of things. I'm not going to change anything, but I'll tell you what I noticed that I screwed up. We were able to knock out MacArthur, like you see there, and we also knocked out the British Army. And when that happens, the Japanese gain 1 prestige. I think we didn't add a single prestige point. But also, when we fought the Battle of Coral Sea, that is this one that you see there, we won that battle. I applied the +1 prestige, but then I applied this +1 Army-Navy bonus, which would not apply. So that also was a mistake. But what I'll do, I'm going to leave things as they are. We have right now 2 Army-Navy, 1 prestige, and 2 oils. So let's get our what do you call it? Our tally here. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. 2 Army-Navy, 1 prestige, and 2 oil. The Army-Navy bonus of giving us a +1 in attack will not apply in this particular deck. Okay. And we have also Stephen. Welcome, Stephen. Vancouver is watching. Not making more oil rolls? Yes, I'm starting to regret that already. Because oil is dangerously low here. Yeah, and the subs are going to come in pretty soon. That's a good point. And we have Thomas from Metro Detroit. Oh, you didn't see the notice from YouTube. That happens once in a while. So let's continue. So yesterday I thought I was going to play the whole game. That's why I was kind of in a hurry. Today we're taking it easy. It's just this deck. If we survive this deck, we continue tomorrow. So we go to the headline phase, and we pull a deck from the card. This is going to be a seeded card. This is going to be a card that always starts off this deck, which is the Solomon's campaign card. So in this card, there is a military advance by Nimitz. And Nimitz is one of those armies that is giving us something to worry about. Thankfully, we have a fortification counter in the Solomons. And so Nimitz will attempt to, okay, you see there, Nimitz will be attempting to enter the Solomons, but he has to beat that fortification marker. So now we roll a die. If it's 1 or 2, Nimitz goes back to New Hebrides. I found out how you pronounce that. So here we go. We need a 1 or a 2. And it's a 6. So Nimitz enters the Solomons, and that fortress island marker will be returning to the available box during housekeeping. So That's how we started this particular card. Let's go back. Now we go to, that was a military phase. Now we go to resources. We lose a prestige point. So now prestige is at 0. There's no consequence for that other than if Army Navy goes down to 0, we lose the game at the end of the turn, but we don't lose any other resources. And now we place the Solomon's unit in the available box. Okay, so here we have the Solomon's unit. We place it in the available box. The only bad thing about the Solomon's unit is that you can place it only where? Yes, in the Solomons, which is already occupied by Nimitz. So that's going to dictate our strategy for this turn. We got to push Nimitz back no matter what. So let's take a look at the card. That is the resource phase. We have 3 actions. And there's a -2 against Nimitz. That is really bad. That is kind of suicide to push back Nimitz with a -2 and a -1 to fortify. So I'll place that also. Now that's the situation. So how does an attack on Nimitz look like right now with all that we have? -2, you need a 6. That's a 1 and 6. And there's nothing we can do to change that. Okay, oil is pretty low. Army Navy is at 2. Can't get to 0. So we should give it a shot to try to push Nimitz back with a 6. So, see, the other situation that we have is we have the Chinese, they're far away. Nimitz, we want to push Nimitz back so we can use that Solomon defense marker, put it to good use. So let's give it a shot. We need a 6. That's going to be our first action. Here we go. And the roll is a 2. So that is a failure. And we got 2 actions left. Let's increase oil before those American subs show up. So we need higher than 2. And that is a 4, so that is successful. So now oil goes up to 3. 1 action left. Oh, the music is too high? Okay, take care of that. Just a second. Okay, so we've got 1 action left. We got oil at 3, prestige is at 0. Prestige shouldn't be at 0, so let's roll for prestige. And that is a 3, it stays at 0. So that was our last action. And now we go to housekeeping. Okay, we're back to the next card. So that card, could have been worse, I suppose. Headline phase, we go to the next card. And this card is Guadalcanal. So let's take a picture of the card. Military advances by the British in China. The British are knocked out, so they have to roll to see if they return to the game. So let's start with that. It's a good thing about knocking them out. Now, to come back into India, they have to roll higher than their combat value of 3. So here we go. And they do. So much for the knockout. And the British are back in India. So the other advance that we have is from China. And China now moves into Hunan, number 4 spot. That's where they started the game. Okay. So that was the military phase. Resources. We gain 1 prestige. So now prestige goes up to 1. Orders. We have 3 actions. And a +1 against the British and the Chinese. Okay, let's place that there. Okay. Now Nimitz doesn't have that. Oh, during the housekeeping phase, that island marker is supposed to go here. Okay. Now we've got to push Nimitz back if we want to place that Solomon's fortification marker in the Solomons. So we have 3 actions. Our first action is to push Nimitz back to New Hebrides. So here we go. And it is a 1, so that is a failure. 2 actions left. Go again. And this time Nimitz is pushed back to New Hebrides. And now we have to roll to place that Solomon's fortification marker. And it only can go in the Solomons. And we have to roll higher than the 3. So here we go. We have 1 action left. That's a pity. So that failed. So that's our last action. And now we go to housekeeping. Ignacio Pérez. Bienvenido, Ignacio. Buenas noches. Okay. So now we go to our next card. So let's see which one it is. Tarawa. Okay, so let's take a picture. And there's a military advance by Nimitz. So let's see. Military advance by Nimitz. So Nimitz advances into the Solomons. So we'll have to try to push him back again. There he is. Okay, so the next event is resources. No resources. We go to orders. We have 3 actions. +1 against Nimitz, so that's good. And a +1 for prestige, which is also in the gutter. It's at 1. So with a +1 against Nimitz, we start. First action, attack Nimitz. 5 + 1, 6. So that's a success. And he can't be attacked again this turn. Okay, now let's try to fortify the Solomons. We need anything higher than a 3. And finally. So we got that Solomon's marker there. It'll make Nimitz's life a little bit more difficult. We have 1 action left. Let's Prestige is at +1. We should take advantage of that. So let's roll for prestige. And that is a failure. So that was our last order. Now we go to housekeeping. Welcome, John. This global war. Yes, this global war it's kind of a states of siege game. It's like what I call third generation states of siege. So we go to the next card. We're in the mid-war deck. Let's see what the next card is. New Guinea and New Britain operations. We have military advances by MacArthur. MacArthur is knocked out. So let's see if he returns. He's in Australia. He has to roll higher than his combat value to be able to return because his army has been knocked out. So he has to roll higher than a 3. So here we go. And no, MacArthur stays off the board for now. So it's a good thing he was knocked out. Resources, no resources. We have 3 actions and a +1 against the British. Let's see. See, the British, we could try to knock him out again, but knocking out an army is difficult because you spend 2 actions and 1 oil. Right now we have 3 oils. And then there's a -2, but we have that +1 now. So we would have to roll. We'd have to roll 5 or a 6, and we knock him out. So it may be a good idea to give it a chance. Let's try to push Nimitz back 1 space, and then we'll think about the British. Nimitz is at New Hebrides. So we roll 1d6. We need 4 or higher. And yes, Nimitz is pushed back. Goes back to Midway. Do we want to try to knock out the British? We would spend 1 oil and our 2 actions. Yeah, why not? Let's try it. Okay. This is living dangerously, but somebody else will tell the Emperor. Okay, so we spend our last 2 actions. Let's deduct them. And we spend 1 oil. So we have now 2 oils. So there's a -2 because this is a knockout blow attempt. But we get a +1 for that die roll modifier. So here we go. 5 + 1, 6 -2, 4. And the British are knocked out once again. Nice. So they are sightseeing in India. Oh, that was worthwhile. So resources, 2, 1, 2. That was the orders phase, and now we go to housekeeping. Sip of Guinness stout beer for inspiration. So that was that card. We go to the next card. Battle of the Bismarck Sea. Okay. No military advances. Resources. We lose an Army-Navy point. That is bad because now Army-Navy goes down to that dangerous 1 spot. So we'll have to increase that. have to spend an action on that particular matter. And now we have a battle of the Bismarck Sea battle table. So let's go to the battle table. Here we have the battle table. And I'm using this marker. Make sure I apply the correct results. Here we go. Battle of the Bismarck Sea. First, we start with 3 actions. And we can use 1 action to fight this battle. And it looks like the chances are we're going to get a good result here. Retreat MacArthur, that's going to be moot because he's out of the board. But 1 Army-Navy point, that would come in handy. So we're going to spend an action. Let's spend it. We got 2 actions left, and we're going to roll on the Battle of the Bismarck Sea table. Here we go. And the roll is a 1. Retreat MacArthur. MacArthur's already knocked out, so that is practically a no effect result. Okay. Still got 2 points. Let's try to get another oil. It's easier to get oil than to get you call it the prestige. So that's until I think the US sub card comes out. So we roll 2d6, 1d6. Just a second. And that's the 3, so that was successful. Okay. We've got 1 action left. Let me check one thing with the US subs. Yeah. The US subs come in when a card indicates, so far they haven't come into action. We have 1 action left. Prestige and Army-Navy are really low. Army-Navy really affects our chances because if it goes down to 0, we can only attack once. So let's roll for Army-Navy. And the roll is a 4, right? That was almost a 1. So Army-Navy now goes up to 2. Oil is at 3. Okay. That was our last action. Got to update this thing. Now we go to housekeeping. Okay, we go to the next card. Cactus Air Force. Take a picture. Do something about the glare there. Military advances by Nimitz. Okay. So Nimitz is at Midway right now. And let's see if there he is. So he's going to advance down here to New Hebrides. Next, resources. We lose an Army-Navy point. So Army-Navy goes down to 1. And we lose an oil. Oil goes down to 2. And orders, we have 3 actions. -1 against Nimitz. And -2 to fortify. So pushing Nimitz back is going to take a 5 or a 6. We should take a shot. Yeah. Still have 2. We would have 2. And the problem is here we have to take an Army-Navy resource action here. That's going to be our first roll. To increase the Army-Navy bonus level, that's a 3. That's a miss. It's a fail. 2 actions left. Guess I'm going to have to leave Nimitz there. Can't let that Army-Navy thing drop to 0. So let's go again. And another failure. And Paul's here. How you doing, Paul? Just got power restore, so just like Puerto Rico. Okay, so we have 1 action left. We failed 2 Army-Navy die rolls. Let's go for the third one because I have a hunch that the next card is gonna lose an Army-Navy point. So we go again, Army-Navy, and this time, yes, goes up to 2. And that was our last action. So we got now to housekeeping. Boy, I gotta update this thing. Housekeeping. Okay, that was Cactus Air Force. Next card. This font in Japanese is Milne Bay. Milne. I don't know how do you pronounce that. Okay, so we got military advances by the British and MacArthur. Both are knocked out. So let's see if they remain knocked out or they come in. So we start with MacArthur here. He needs a 5 or a 6 to just go back, and then we would place him in Australia. So here we go. And MacArthur is back. They're not knocked out anymore. The British, who were knocked out twice, now they have to roll 4 or higher. And 1, they fail, so they remain knocked out. And we have, let's see, resources. We lose Army-Navy, see? Fortunately, we thought of that before. So Army-Navy now goes down to 1. And now orders 3 actions. There's a +1 against the British, -1 against MacArthur, who's in Australia, and -1 for any prestige die roll. It's 3 actions. And we're not going to try to knock out MacArthur again, especially with a -1 there. Can try to push Nimitz back, but we have a dire situation here on the resources track. We gotta try to remedy that, improve that. Let's see. 3 actions. Let's get Army-Navy back to 2. So let's roll 1d6. And the roll is a 6, so Army-Navy goes back to 2. And we have 2 actions left. Not worth rolling for prestige there. Let's get an oil. Okay, let's roll for oil. Here we go. And oil, 6. So that's good. Goes up to 3. And we have 1 action left. Should try to push Nimitz back. Why not? So we need higher than 3. Milne, that's how you pronounce it? Milne, thanks, Stephen. I know I was going to mispronounce it. Milne. Milne Bay. That's in Australia, I suppose. Something like that, right? Okay, so here we go. We go against Nimitz. Last action. Oh, we got it. Bunch of 6s there. So Nimitz goes back to Midway. That was our last action. It was a very good turn. Milne Bay. So let's go to housekeeping. Oil should be at 3, you're right. Yeah, I forgot to put it in the board. Yeah, I have oil in the... Yep, you're right. Okay, it's 213. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Okay. Going to our next card. Naval engagement at Savo Island. It's a retreat by Nimitz. We'll take it. Okay, so let's take a picture of that. And Nimitz is going to retreat. So you see Nimitz is at Midway. Now he goes back to Pearl Harbor. Cool. See if the camera wants to respond. There he is. And now we got resources. We gain 1 prestige. So prestige, which is at 1, it's now at 2. Now we go to the orders. Just 2 actions this time. I was getting accustomed to 3 and 4, so just 2 actions. -2 against Nimitz. I don't think we'll be going after Nimitz with a -2. But a +1 to fortify, maybe it's a good time to do that. Now let's see. Should fortify somewhere, but MacArthur's been already released. But you see that Port Moresby and Hollandia and Mindanao, they are not island spaces, so we can't place the fortification marker there. And this way, we can't do it either on the track where Nimitz is because it's not islands. They're not islands for the purpose of the game, for setting up Japanese fortifications. 2 actions. Let's see how the thing is here. We should get more oil then. Okay, let's get some oil. Ah, that's a failure. There's a +1 to fortify, but I don't want to waste that marker because once you place it somewhere, it's going to be stuck there until it gets attacked. So it's tempting to use that +1 and put it in some island here, but it's like going to be a waste of an action. So let's push the Chinese back. They're a little bit too close for comfort. So here we go. We need higher than 3, and it's a 3, so that also was a failure. And that's the end of the orders phase. Housekeeping. And the US subs are like on vacation or something. They haven't showed up yet. Go to the next card. Battle of the Eastern Solomons. So we have another battle. Military advance by Nimitz. Let's take care of that. Okay, Nimitz goes from the Hawaiian Islands to Midway. See, what else do we have? Resources. We lose 1 oil. So oil now goes down from 3 to 2. We have all resources at 2. And now we go to the orders phase, sea battle table, and there's a -1 for Army, Navy resources. Let's go to the battle table. This is the Battle of the Eastern Solomons. Where's that? Okay. We're up here. I got like a paragraph there. On a 1 to 3 +1 prestige, and we place a fortification marker from the available box into an island space that is currently not Allied control. I don't know. Do I want to win? Do I want to place that in some island where nobody is there yet? I don't know. No effect. -1 Army, Navy. The thing is with these battles, you're not obligated to fight them. You can skip them. And we can use the 2 actions elsewhere. And I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to skip the Battle of the Eastern Solomons. We would have gotten 1 prestige. Prestige is at 2. Yeah, we're going to skip that battle. So we get 2 actions. We got 2 oil. We would be tempted to knock out MacArthur again, but that's a -2. We don't have a +1, so that's basically we would need a 6. Not going to chance it. Okay, let's use one of the actions to get some more oil. Roll 1d6, and the roll is a 4. So we got oil, and that is 3 oils. So -1 for Army, Navy, so I'll leave that alone. Try to push Nimitz back. For the Chinese, are at 4. Nimitz is at 7. So let's go. Let's go for the Chinese. They're at 4. Here we go. And the roll is a 3. That fails. That was our last action. Now it's housekeeping. I want to be a DJ. The music's not too loud, I suppose, right? Okay. And the music is, in case the game is boring, you can say, hey, at least the music wasn't that bad. Okay. So we go to the next card. And we're like, since this is the expansion, we've gone through, how many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a little bit more than half of the cards to go. For the expansion, they add a lot of cards. So we go to the next card, and it is Operation Vengeance. And we have an advance by MacArthur. So MacArthur advances into Port Moresby, which is a fortified area. That means he gets it's a -1 modifier if we attack him there. It's kind of a bummer. Okay, the next, that was the military. Resources, we lose 1 prestige, and prestige is now dangerously at 1. We don't want prestige to fall to 0 because then We are risking losing the game if Army Navy goes down to 0 too. So that's resources. Now we go to, what was it? Yes, orders, 2 actions, and -1 on all fronts. Jesus, so we put those -1 markers all over the place. -1 on all fronts. I won't put it on the British, but yeah. Two actions. -1 on all fronts. So I guess MacArthur, it would be like just a 6 would push him back. So that's kind of crazy. Let's get prestige out from that 1 box. So here we go. So our first action stays there. And our second action is to get some more oil. So here we go. And a 3. So that is successful. So oil goes up to 4. That was our last order. Or, yes, last action. Housekeeping. Okay. How many cards must be played in each deck? I think there's like 19 cards in each deck, more or less. Something like that. I know there was 19 in the first deck. I don't want to count them now, but these ones, but I think it's about 19. So I think we got like 10 to go. Or 9, I don't know. Okay, so we go to the next card. Headline phase. Next card is Truk and Rabaul subdued. Military advance by Nimitz. So we see again Nimitz moving from Midway into New Hebrides. That was a military action. Prestige. Prestige is like, it's terrible. Okay, resources. We lose an Army Navy. So Army Navy goes down to 1. We lose an oil. Oil goes down to 3. And it says, place the island unit in its available box. It's already there. And we have 3 orders, 3 actions, and we have -1 against Nimitz, and a -1 for prestige rolls. Okay. Three actions. And prestige. See, now it's getting dangerous here. Dangerous territory. Let's get that Army Navy to 2 so that if prestige goes down to 0, it won't have much of an effect. So let's roll for Army Navy resources. And the roll is a 1. That's a failure. Let's roll again. This time it's a success. So now Army Navy is at 2. We have 1 action left. See, MacArthur is a -1 because he's in a fortified position. The Chinese are not. So let's go after the Chinese. Here we go. Last action, and it is a 3. Man, we've really failed against the Chinese consistently. So that was orders phase. And housekeeping. Okay, how many cards we have left? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. And we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. So this deck has 21. We're more than halfway. So we're going to take a short 1-minute break, a public service announcement. I'm going to drink a little bit of that Guinness for more inspiration, and we'll be right back. Okay, whoops, we're right back. Yes, am I flaunting a deluxe edition? Of course. Yes, I think it's long overdue. I mean, they've made new States of Siege games for games that are not as deep as this one. I think this is one of the more crunchier games, interesting States of Siege games. Yes, and Army Navy should be at 2. Yes, yeah, got it there. Now, and we have William Arends. Welcome, William. Just east of Toronto. Mississauga. And Lou likes big band music. Me too. Okay, so we go to the next card. This is like the halfway point. Headline phase. Here we go. China offensive. This is, what does it say there? Squan. Squan. I don't know. So we got military advances by China. Let me photograph that card. So China advances. We try to push those Chinese back, but they are resilient. Now they're at Hubei again. So that was a military phase. Resources, we lose an Army Navy. So now that's down to 1. And we lose prestige. And now prestige is down to 0. That was pretty bad. So the orders phase, 4 actions. That's good. I like that, 4. Okay. And we have a +1 against China. And we have a -1 against Nimitz. It's always -1 against Nimitz for some reason. Okay. We see the situation. Okay, I think we have to first try to remedy this situation here. We can't let Army Navy go down to 0 in the next turn. So we're going to roll for Army Navy. 1d6. I need higher than 3. We got the 4. Good. Okay, so Army Navy goes down to 2. I'll worry about prestige depending on how it goes in the military operations. We got 3 actions left. Nimitz is a -1. So I think we should concentrate on the Chinese. We're just advancing there. We got that +1, which is attractive. Let's go. 4 + 1, 5. So the Chinese go back to Hunan. And we always rotate the armies that we defeated because we can't push them back twice in the same turn. So we have 2 actions left. Try to push Nimitz back. We would need a 5 or a 6, but we have 2 actions. We might as well try that. Let's try to push Nimitz back. So here we go. 5 - 1, 4, and Nimitz goes back to Midway. Oops, I did something there with the Army Navy. I hit the wrong button. Nimitz goes back to Midway. So there he is. And we have 1 action left. Army Navy is at 2, actually. Okay. We're 203. Yep. And we got Stuart Ashley from Burlington, Vermont. Welcome, Stuart. 1 action left. We're here with We Must Tell the Emperor. Probably doing better than the Japanese historically. How long will that last? I don't know. 1 action left. Can't push the Chinese back. MacArthur would be 5 or 6. Already pushed Nimitz back. Let's try to get some oil before those US subs come in. So let's go for oil. Here we go. 5. Yes, so oil is now at 4. That was our last action. I know prestige is in the dumpsters, but by itself, it won't hurt us that much. 204. Housekeeping. Gotta update this thing up here. Okay, we go to the headline phase and we pull out the next card. Let's see which one this is going to be. The Battle of Santa Cruz. It's a battle. We're not obligated to go through it, but there's a military advance by Nimitz. Nimitz again for like the 13th time in the game. Now moves from Midway to New Hebrides. Resources, we lose 1 oil. It's a good thing we got an oil in the last turn. So oil now goes down to 3. And orders, see the battle table. Okay, this is the Battle of Santa Cruz. It's the Battle of Santa Cruz. There it is. We got 2 orders. And let's see. This is a 50-50 chance. Army, Navy +1 prestige. This we can definitely use, yes. So we're going to use one of our actions to fight the Battle of Santa Cruz. We spend that action, and here we go. And, we lose an Army, Navy. So Army Navy goes down to 1. It's a good thing it was a 2. Goes down to 1. Damn. That. We have 1 action left. And we got to get Army Navy out of that 1 zone, because, as it states there, we lose the game if in the next turn it's moved to 0 and we can't push any of these 2 out. We lose the game. So we can't let that happen. So the last action is going to be to push that Army Navy marker. So we need higher than 3. Oh, so now things are going to start to get ugly. So that's a failure, and that's our last action in the turn. Will we even go to the 3rd deck? It's Army Navy is at 1, right? 1, 0, 3. Oh, that was bad. Okay, wow. So now we go to housekeeping. Okay, so we go to our next card. Imperial intervention. That doesn't sound good. Military advances by Nimitz. Okay. Now it's going to get interesting. Now, Nimitz is here in New Hebrides. Thankfully, we got that fortification there at the Solomons. So now Nimitz is attacking there. So now we roll 1d6. On a 1 to 3, we repel Nimitz and he goes back to New Hebrides. On a 4 through 6, he stays in the Solomons. So here we go. So he stays in the Solomons. Not good. Not good. Wait, hit the wrong button here. Okay, that was the military action. Resources. We gain 1 Army Navy point. Take it. So that's at 2 now. 203 in resources. And the next aspect is orders. 3 actions, -2 against Nimitz. Nimitz is the one giving us all the headaches. You always get these minuses. So we get 2 actions. So what that means is to push Nimitz back, need a 6. We have 2 actions. Oh boy. If we don't push Nimitz back, the problem is the Solomon marker will go back to the available box. And then we can't place that anywhere else but the Solomons. We'd have to push Nimitz back. Okay. We may give that 1 shot. The situation here. Prestige is at 0. Army Navy at 2. Let's give this. Let's go for the crapshoot. We can use one of those actions. Let's go against Nimitz. We need a 6, basically. So here we go. We got it. Wow. Got the 6. So Nimitz running back to New Hebrides. Wow. That was something. So Solomon defenses. Stay where you are, guys. We got 1 action left. Wow. Ignacio, you're going to bed. I don't know why you're awake at this time, Ignacio. Good night. Thanks for dropping by. Okay. So we've got 1 action left. Resources are not bad except for prestige. We can't attack Nimitz again. The Chinese are their 4 space. I don't know. Let's... Submarine hasn't showed up. Let's get some oil. Here we go. And we got some oil. So oil goes up to 4. So that was our last action. Housekeeping. Better update this thing up here. Okay. That was housekeeping. Now we go to our next card. We're in the headline phase. There's about like 6 cards left in this deck. Kokoda Track campaign advances by the knocked out British and by MacArthur. MacArthur's been sitting on his butt for a while. So let's do those military advances. Start with MacArthur because he is not knocked out. Now he moves to Hollandia. So now we have to worry about MacArthur. He's at his number 4 space. And the British are knocked out. Let's see if they remain knocked out. That would be nice. So they have to roll first. And they need a 4 or more to return to the game, and then we place them in India. So here we go. And the British remain knocked out on vacations in India. So that's good. So that was the military phase. Resources, we lose an Army-Navy point. Down to 1 there, so that's a concern now. And we lose a prestige. You can't lose any more prestige. We're at 0, so that's stays where it is. Orders, 3 actions. +1 against the British, we're knocked out. And -1 to fortify. Yeah, we're going to hit Nimitz, definitely. See how the situation here with the resources. Army-Navy can't be at 1. So let's go first for Army-Navy. 1d6. Ah, a 2. See it coming. That's a 2. That's a miss. Got 2 left. Let's do another Army-Navy and then hit Nimitz. So here we go. And a 5. So Army-Navy goes back to 2. Let's turn our attention to Nimitz. So we can push him back to midway. He's in New Hebrides. We got 1 action left. Here we go. And 4. It's a 1, so that's a failure, and that's the end of our orders phase. Housekeeping. See how many cards we got left. 6. Now, this has been a long deck. That's a bad thing when you get an expansion. You get more cards. You never get less cards. Okay, so here we go. Next card. Naval engagement, Guadalcanal. See if I can get rid of that glare. Take a nice picture there. No military advances. That's good. Resources. We lose a prestige. They're already at 0. We lose an oil. Oil goes down to 3. It's a good thing we would keep on taking oil. And the U.S. subs are on vacation. So now we go to orders. Only 2 orders. -1 against Nimitz, which is our main concern. -1 for Army Navy rolls, but those are at 2, so that's no problem. -2 to fortify. 2 actions. Yeah, that 6 could be the 6 that changed the war at the end. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Only 2 actions. Army Navy's at 2. I'm going to leave it there. No use rolling on that -1. Nimitz has a -1. I'd like to push him back. Prestige at 0. Do we want to get prestige to 1? Like a waste. Who cares about prestige, right? Let's give we could try to push MacArthur back, definitely. Yeah, Nimitz is a tougher proposition. MacArthur, we need 4 or more, and he goes running to Port Moresby. So let's go against MacArthur. Haven't gone against him in a while, and it's a 5. So he goes back to Port Moresby. So that was a success. 1 action left. The Chinese are at 4. MacArthur 5. Yeah, we should get some oil. So here we go for oil again. No oil this time. That was our last action. Housekeeping. Headline phase. Next card. We're approaching the end of this deck and we're still in the game. Chinese dissension. That sounds good, right? Take a picture. Flip the China unit to its 3 battle value side. It's already in the 3 values. That's weird. When we see this card is here. Let me see one thing here. That is weird. The Chinese are already at their 3 value card. Let me see one thing here. Because I did new stickers for this game. There's the Chinese marker here. There's a 4 and a 3, and they begin at 4. So I don't know. Maybe there's another marker that increases them to 4s. Flip the China unit to its 3 value side. Well, it's already in its 3 value side. That's weird. I'm going to double check that afterwards. Troop withdrawals from China can begin. Oh, because this is one of those expansion cards. We can withdraw troops if we want in order for us to. With those troop withdrawals, we can create fortification markers that we can place on the islands. Yeah. But I'm not going to use that for now, so that has no effect. And then we go to the actions, the orders. We have 2 actions, +1 against the British and +1 against China. We've got 2 actions. So our resources first. A bit low on oil, but yeah. We should go after the Chinese, but Chinese don't worry me so much like Nimitz. Because if Nimitz advances, he gets rid of our Solomon's defense. If the Chinese advances, we can always push him back again. So let's go after Nimitz. Let's try to push him back to Midway. So we roll 1d6, and that is a failure. One left. Do we go against the Chinese or we go against Nimitz again? The Chinese have a +1. Yeah, we should take advantage of that +1. It doesn't come too often. So the Chinese are at Hunan. We're going to use that +1. And it was, well, it was worth it. So that is 3 + 1, 4. So they did go back to Kweichow. And that was our last action. So now we go to housekeeping. We're down to what? 4 cards. 4 cards, and we finish this deck. We got Peter from Melbourne, Australia, Peter. So Australia, still in Allied hands, so you're safe. We haven't gotten to you yet. Take care. And we have a 30-day presentation. Great. An antidote to the World at War, yeah. Okay, take care. Take care, William. Okay, so we got this is the first of 4 cards that we have left. So here we go. And it is Tokyo Express. Pretty empty card, looks like. No military advances, no resources, 2 actions, +1 to fortify, that's good, and +1 for Army, Navy, and oil. Oh boy, that's good. So pity it's only 2 actions, right? Okay, so we got these 2 actions. This looks like it's going to be a resource-intensive die roll here, but I have Nimitz and New Hebrides. I would like to push them back. But let's go first for one of these resources. Oil or Army-Navy? You almost never get an Army-Navy bonus here. Let's go Army-Navy first. And that +1 sounds good. Here we go. 5 + 1, 6. That goes to 3. So we don't have to worry about Army-Navy for a while here. Do we go for an oil roll or we go against Nimitz? Oil it's 2 or more, but when these US subs show up, it's going to be a -1, so oil is going to be harder to get. And now it's just a layup. Unless we roll a 1, yeah. Only thing is if we roll a 1, we fail, but I'm going to take it. We're going to go against Nimitz. I just want to push him back. I don't like him close to the Solomons at this point in the game. So here we go. Going against Nimitz. And the roll is a 5. So that's good. And Nimitz back to Midway. So there he is. That was our last action, so we don't have any more actions there. Well, that card wasn't that bad. What's the orders phase? Housekeeping. Three cards left in this deck. Here we go. Headline phase. Next card. Eyebots. This looks like another one of those expansion cards. We have military advances by Nimitz. It's a good thing we pushed him back. So Nimitz once again. he moves from Midway to New Hebrides. That was the military advances. Now we go to resources. We gain 1 Army Navy point, so that is right now at 4. We gain 1 prestige, so we're out of the 0 for prestige. Now we got 1, but we lose 1 oil. So oil now drops to 2. 4, 1, 2. So now we go to the orders phase, and we have 2 actions. Let's write that down here. And we have +1 against Nimitz. So he'll surely get attacked. -1 against all other fronts. It's -1 against MacArthur. The Chinese, the British are on vacation in India, so no problem there. And +1 to fortify. Only 2 actions, +1 against Nimitz. You can't let that pass. So let's go. Let's send him back to Midway. Here we go, against Nimitz. Anything but a 1. That's a failure. Oh, man. 1 action left. And oil is critically low. Nimitz is a +1. But Army Navy is at 4, so oil being low, Nimitz is a +1. We've got to take advantage of that. I'm gonna live dangerously. Let's go against Nimitz for that +1. Come on. Send him back to Midway. Here we go. 2 1s. Jeez. Oh boy, 0. Welcome to States of Siege. So that's the end of the orders phase. Yeah, the American subs have to be in one of the... We've been lucky, you know. 21 cards, and they are going to appear in the last 2 cards. How much... That's super lucky. Okay, housekeeping. Okay, we're at 4 1 2. Yes, that was housekeeping. How many cards left? 2 cards left. So let's go to the headlines phase. And the next card is Allies Assault Hollandia. It's a military advance by MacArthur. So MacArthur actually moves into Hollandia. So that's the military phase. Resources, nothing. What's going on? Orders, 3 actions. That's good. But we have a -1 against MacArthur, who just advanced. And a -1 for Army, Navy, and prestige rolls. So that's not good. Tony's board life is here. Tony, you're in the last 2 cards here. I think I can say pretty safely we're going to be here tomorrow, like at the same time, 6 o'clock, because I don't think we can get eliminated in 2 cards. I mean, 1 card left. So we're going to make it to the last deck. Everybody says the last deck is, you should start on the last deck anyway, but yeah, I haven't played this in a while. So welcome, Tony. Okay, so orders phase, we have 3 actions. MacArthur is a -1. Nimitz is knocking on the doors of the Solomons. I'd like to push him back. And resource-wise, the only thing we'll be rolling for is oil there. Not going to roll for anything else. But let's first take care of MacArthur. We have 3 actions. We should be able to push him back. So here we go. First action against MacArthur. Against Nimitz, I say. 5. So Nimitz goes back to Midway. There he is. And that was our first action. So you can see him there at Midway. There he is. 2 actions left. We got to get some oil. Oil is too low. Especially the subs are going to show up in the next one. Maybe we should get 2 oils. Can't push MacArthur with that -1 there. So let's roll for oil and see what happens. 1, that's a miss, a hit, failure. 1 action left. We can all roll for oil. The subs are going to come on next turn. We're going to roll for oil again. Yeah. Forget about MacArthur for now. Come on. Let's get some oil. Yes, we got some cheap oil there. That's going to increase probably in the next turn. So we got 3 oils. Resources 4, 1, 3. So that's the orders phase, and now we go to housekeeping. Okay, last card of the deck. And here's the situation. MacArthur at Hollandia. Hollandia, that's the 4 spot. On his track, the Chinese are in their 5 spot, which is, what is it? Huichao. Let's see that right. The British are vacationing in India. They've been knocked out, and it's been a worthwhile knockout. Been knocked out twice, the British. Resource-wise, there's a situation. So it's not like there's no emergency situation. Oil is a little bit low, but let's go to the last card of this deck. And the last card is U.S. Submarine Campaign. Yeah, of course. That was the last card. So the U.S. submarines finally woke up. Let's take you couldn't ask for a better last card for the second day. This is the best place to have that card there. But we got military advances by everyone and their mother. You got military advances by the British, the Chinese, MacArthur, and Nimitz, by all Allied armies. Okay, so we start here with, let's start with Nimitz. He advances to New Hebrides for the 20th time in the game. MacArthur now becomes of some concern because now he advances into Mindanao. That's a 3 spot. The Chinese are not too shabby. They advance now into Hunan, their number 4 spot. Now we see if the British keep on the tourist sightseeing or they want to play. So we roll a die. They've been knocked out. To come in, they have to roll higher than their combat value of 3. And they finally come in, so the British are going to be back for the last deck. This is going to be a big challenge. So that was military advances by everybody. I didn't miss anybody, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we move on to resources, and we lose not 1, 2 oils. Boy, we're going to start that second deck without any oil, yeah. So by losing 2 oils, now oil goes down from 3 to 1. Ouch. So that's resources. What else do we have here? At least we have 3 actions. 3 actions. And US subs is there. So you see that we placed that US subs marker now, that -1 spot. So this is going to affect all our dice rolls as to oil. So now we got to roll now for oil. We need 4 or more. It's a 50-50 thing. And the sad thing is that we have to roll for oil. We can't let that go down to 0. So we have 3 actions. We're going to start with an oil roll. How exciting. Here we go. First action, it's a 5. So we got that oil up to 2. Two actions left. We may roll for oil again, but never let pass a chance here with Nimitz, and we have MacArthur to push back also. 2 actions. MacArthur is at 4, and Nimitz is at 6. So let's go against MacArthur. Okay, here we go. Higher than 3, a 4. So MacArthur goes back to Hollandia. And our last action of this deck. Last action of the deck. Do we want to buy oil, which is now at 50-50? Or push Nimitz back, which is also 50-50. I think something tells me we're gonna have to buy some oil. Something tells me that in the next deck, they're gonna be sinking our shipping and we're gonna start losing oil. So let's go and get some oil. Now we have to roll 4 or more. So here we go, our last action. And it is a 3. So that is a failure. That's modified to a 2, and that fails. It would have, Nimitz would have failed also. So that's our orders phase. We go to housekeeping. So that is the situation at the end of the mid-war deck. It's gone. The next deck is the one with the gray background, somber gray background, and there is a seeding for this deck. Late war deck begins with card 41, which is this card. Which looks pretty grim. Military advances by everybody, almost everybody. British, China, Nimitz. Resources go down. So this is really pathetic way to start, but I guess this is the tough deck. So this is what we will have waiting for us tomorrow. I'll shuffle the remaining deck. And how many cards here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And with the seeded card, 20 cards. To win the game, place a seeded card there. And that's going to be all for today. So we survived the second deck. Sometimes you get eliminated here also if you're careless, I suppose. But the challenge is going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow will be at 6 Atlantic time, the same time here. We'll start. It most likely will be a very short game. But you never know. And I'll be reading on, because we're using the expansion, there's the possibility that the Soviets will enter the game. If they do so, we'll have a Soviet front. It gets placed for some reason in the China track. I guess if they do a new version of the game, they can do a Russian track also. So that's going to be all for now. I want to thank everybody who tuned in for your continued participation here. This is a process. I'm still getting hang with the button. So I'll see you tomorrow at 6. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. you.